Hi everyone, I'm Charlie Hoyt, based in Bonn. I want to talk to you about Bioregistry. This is just a quick update. I've mentioned Bioregistry in a couple places in various NFDI contexts. I'll give you a really short interview on what it is in case you're not familiar, and just a couple updates on what's happened since the last time we were talking in the last workshop last year. Bioregistry is a place where we keep track of what are all of the ontologies, the controlled vocabularies, the semantic spaces. Harkening back to the great slides from the last presentation, we just need a place to list all these things to make that stuff, fair, like so people know what it is, they can find it, they can find information. And also the Bioregistry is a toolkit that helps to standardize data and promote interoperability ultimately. So if you're an ontology creator, having your ontology listed in Bioregistry is a really great place. If you're making a website that assigns IDs to things, that's another thing that can go in Bioregistry, even if it's not an ontology. It's completely open source. Anybody can make contributions. It's got lots of really helpful continuous integration tools to help you get feedback and make contributions. Philip will attest to this because he's recently been able to make some of his own contributions. But yeah, the problem with data integration is pretty big. So let's talk about PubChem for a second. You're talking about PubChem IDs and you're using queries, these compact URIs. There's a lot of different prefixes people might use depending on the data source. So like the Bioregistry is there to help you solve this problem. Similar, there's a lot of different URIs that you might use to talk about the same thing, same identifier inside Kebi. So Bioregistry helps you solve this problem too. It's just a database of all these like strings so you can help standardize your data. And if you're making some kind of data integration, this is super important. Okay, so like quick updates. The Bioregistry is now part of OOS. So down here in the bottom, we've got this has database cross-reference thing, and this is like some other Kebi page. So all of these cross-references are now being linkified using the Bioregistry. And yeah, so this is really great. EBI's integrated this upstream into OOS, but NFDI's terminology service is built on top of this, and so they're going to get this for free. And that's pretty great. I'm very happy to see like things getting link outs and things that don't have link outs. It's a place where we can do a little bit of curation, maybe the Bioregistry, or maybe we can improve the ontologies themselves to have better references that are more actionable. And this helps everybody within the consortium. Other nice update. Again, I mentioned Philip did a couple of contributions to Bioregistry himself, and I really hope that he'll evangelize it to everybody else, especially if we want to get IDMP into Bioregistry. This is not a thing that takes a long time. You just go and fill out a little issue on GitHub, and then it automatically makes a pull request. And then the next day, it'll end up in Bioregistry. So in addition to adding prefixes that go with ontologies or resources, we can also make collections that have some context and also have a list of resources. So Philip was gracious enough to add an NFDI for Chem collection. Last year, I used one of the web pages from the NFDI for Cat consortium to make an NFDI for Cat collection that has like a pretty high overlap, but with like some different things in it. And yeah, so it was just said in the chat, so I already added it into the slide. We'd love to see other NFDI consortia thinking about making their own collections here, and we'd love to see a Pistoia collection that also showcases some of their ontologies. Totally happy to help Christian and any of your colleagues to work through this. I've got lots of training material to share with you. So anybody who's interested in putting something in Bioregistry, feel free to get in touch. Maybe try reading the docs yourself and making a contribution. If that's a good experience, that's great. If it's not a good experience, I'm happy to help and make it better. Yeah, last thing is Bioregistry is similar to fair sharing in certain ways. Fair sharing is also another place where you can make collections of stuff, but fair sharing represents databases. Bioregistries representing the prefixes and the semantic spaces. So there's a lot of times these are the same. Sometimes they're not. Like PubChem, for example, is a database that has multiple different resources within it. So PubChem isn't an ontology, but there's like PubChem compounds, PubChem substance, and so on. Same thing for Chembl. So they're like in some places they're the same, some places they're not. But Bioregistry does sort of align those things when it can. And so this might be a tool that's also useful for people in NFDI who are interested in making contributions themselves to fair sharing. They might want to start by looking at Bioregistry for their resources.